Hey, the gang's here. Welcome to the Psychic News Network. It's Friday Night Live. How are y'all doing? Grab a cocktail. We need to talk. I just had the experience of sort of, catching up on the headlines, and my head is spinning. It really is. It's like my head is spinning. Okay, what are the top news stories today? And it's like, what isn't? What isn't a top news story today? So, Warren saying, thank the good Lord that the heat has broken. I definitely agree with that. We had a full day of lots of rain yesterday. I pretty much stayed in all day. But it was nice to get out there today. And it is about 71 degrees here and a nice cool breeze and no humidity. So that's good news. And I'm cracking my fake beer. Nice and cold. I just bought a 6-pack. And they had the fridge was nice and cold. So pour yourself a cold drink. Yeah, man. I mean, I started taking some notes. He fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We need to keep our eye on what's going on. We need to keep all of our eyes on what's going on. Dr. Phil's anti-woke company just got the plug pulled. Oh, good. It's dead. But sadly, so is the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. I'm hoping to see the CPB back in business when this is all over. We have to keep visualizing and working towards this coup, this attack on the United States of America to be over. There is nothing, this is nothing short of what happens in a war to a country, except that we're not being attacked with actual armament weapons, but every single aspect of democracy is under attack, and we the people are under attack, and we still have a democracy. So if there's anybody out there that's noticing people don't know what's going on, it's up to us to inform them. So I want to speak to seeing Kamala Harris out in the public eye on Stephen Colbert. I want us to focus on what the positives are. She said that the people have the power. I felt like I was listening to myself. Honestly, not to toot my own horn, but listening to Kamala Harris on Stephen Colbert last night, I was literally, I watched it this morning. I was literally sitting there going, I say that all the time. I say that all the time. I say that all the time too. It's up to the people. We have got to make our voices heard, and if they're not heard, we have to get louder, and when we get louder, if we're still not heard, we have to scream constantly. And I know that might seem vague and elusive, but there are protests going on. And what she spoke to, and what she spoke about, was the system is broken. And that she can't really get back in until the system is fixed. And so we know, did Joel Osteen's mother die? I just saw that. I don't consider Joel Osteen a MAGA, congregation. Just so you know, I don't think that's really fair. Whatever you think of him, let's not be slandering. the system is extremely broken. And some of the news that's come out today and yesterday is real evidence that Kamala won in a landslide. Hello? I have 2 big boxes of these. Those of you who ordered them, they'll be on their way. They're a little slow to be shipped. I had to wait for them to get here, and I'm the one doing the shipping. But anyway, if you, yeah, Joel Osteen is your run-of-the-mill greed backstreet preacher. I agree with that. They're on my website. I don't know how much they are. So what Kamala was saying is the system needs to be fixed. And there's evidence out there that the election was rigged, and I don't know if you know who the Substack author is who wrote the article about all the evidence. You can put it up there. All that we've been saying here all along is happening. I just want to point that out. Donald Trump is trying to turn the United States of America into North Korea. What are you saying, Ghislaine? Firing of jobs report? That's 2 different stories. He's trying to take away all our agency and all our agencies. Let's go to the first question that I have about the election being rigged. Or he's trying to turn us into Russia. Putin's trying to turn us into the Russian Federation of America. It's not going so well for Putin. And then, like, I started tonight by saying I just was catching up on a few of the headlines to see if anything more developed, and my head was spinning because there's so many headlines. So then he sent a couple of nuclear submarines off the coast of Russia. He won't get away with what he's doing if the American people get really, really loud. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these cards, and these are the cards that Tia sent, our friend Tia, Tarot de St. Croix. And we're going to look at how democracy responds to all this criminality. The Kennedy Center being renamed, that's not final. Electric Storm, what you're saying is not finalized. Just so you know. It's not finalized. Okay, so 3 cards about the strength of our democracy. When is the next protest? Amy's asking. I heard that there was one tomorrow. Check Indivisible and 50501. Yes, the Orange Menace will go away soon. That's what we're projecting for, but we're working towards it too. So I have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. There are a lot of people rising up. I'm asking how our democracy is doing. People are getting real serious in the fight back, in the pushback. Hey Terry, thanks for putting up the question I'm asking. August 2nd is tomorrow, everybody. It's August 1st. I don't think I mentioned that. In case you didn't notice. As far as how our democracy is going, I have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. We have a lot of troopers out there that are doing the work, that are in positions of leadership that can do the work. Okay, the Substack is called This Will Hold. And I have seen that Substack. I'm not sure if I'm subscribed to that one. But I have read it before. So just to backtrack, the Substack article that has the evidence that the election was rigged in Dumpy's favor, and Kamala and Tim won by a landslide, and we all knew it all along. And it didn't take a rocket scientist because it was obvious. Remember the punch to the gut feeling? How could we forget? So the American people and our representatives are, it's getting, the rubber's hitting the road. It's getting urgent. And the Queen of Wands is Kamala being the messenger. We need somebody to lead the conversation, and that's what she is going to be. And I had said a few months ago, I saw her coming back onto the scene. Because I asked a question a little while back, are we going to see more of her? And yes. Yes, can't argue with the energy and enthusiasm because it's out there. But so now it's like a race. We're in a race in a certain way because it's like the coup is trying to dismantle democracy as fast as it possibly can. And we got to keep up. Do you ever run a road race? You got to keep up. And, you know, if you've ever run a road race, it's a mind game. I've run a lot of them. It's a mind game. It's mind over matter. We just got to keep up. There's a link to this will hold outside. You need my glasses. Okay. Yeah, here's a link to this will hold. Terry's so amazing. Thank you, Terry. She's put the link to the article. And I will, I'll definitely read the whole thing. Okay. Having Kamala in the limelight again must be making Frumpy nervous. Absolutely, Anita. Definitely true. Okay. One thing is for sure. This Ghislaine Maxwell debacle is really making Americans very, very, very furious. Oh yeah, Kamala mentioned the enthusiasm and said it's still here, and I'm getting like beeps outside to affirm it. Let's see, 3 cards about. I pulled out the nefarious cards, so it must have been an evil person question. What is Stumpy going to do about Kamala being back on the scene? I mean, he did call for her arrest recently. If it's any consolation, I keep telling you, these people are weak. Their energy is weak. May we live in interesting times. We certainly do. We live in times that we've got to wake up. Hang on. I wasn't really clear about the question. Okay. Around the election, the rigged election interference, what's going to happen around that? Darren used to run races in Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. And isn't it true? Isn't it true? It's like, you're like, no, I can't stop, right? You have to get some mind over matter thing. So that's what we're in. I was just making the comparison. That's what we're in right now. I used to have a garbage bag filled to the top with t-shirts. I finally got rid of it. Like, I'm not going to wear all these t-shirts. Okay, how we're doing, what's going to happen as a result of the actual election results being revealed? What's going to happen? How is he going to respond? Yeah, Angela's posted my question up. I think she did that intentionally. The 4 of Swords. I keep getting the 4 of Swords for Dumpy, and the 4 of Swords is the card of poor health. The Ace of Swords, the truth is going to be stronger. The American people are going to believe, most of the American people are going to believe that they rigged the election. And we have the added opportunity of MAGA turning on him. And we have the situation of all this evidence. Remember on Wednesday, I was talking about it, like all the Epstein videos and pictures and articles and everything and all the people. This was I think it was a decade-long crime ring, sex crime, human trafficking ring that went on for a long time and affected thousands of people, thousands, I don't know how many, but many young girls recruited, assaulted. And for us to be looking at the potential of him to pardon the monster Maxwell, we'll call her, the American people are very, very angry, and the MAGAs are turning on him because what they wanted was they wanted the Democrats to all be in trouble. This is changing. Today, and I will read on this, today we got news, the real news about the real economy that's happening right now. And from the looks of it, we're heading for a Great Depression, but we're going to take a look at that. And Jerome Powell is still in his position. So, as far as Dumpy goes, the sword of truth is going to make him feel quite ill. Electra Storm is saying, my voodoo doll gave him his cankles, so I know it's working. Yeah, the truth is, this is the sword of truth, and it's going to make him lose his head. And the Knight of Wands. Well, I've been getting Knights and Pentacles, Knights and Pages, and Knights and Pages, and Knights and Pages. Lots of pages. That's we the people. Remember the rally tomorrow. He looks very ill. Yes, he definitely looks very ill. Okay, so that was about how the election, the true election results coming out will affect him. I think I've gotten the Four of Swords on him every single time I've read on him the past several PNNs. For sure. Okay. Everyone, let's take a deep breath. Take a sip of your cold drink. And just keep saying to yourself, we're in this together. We're in this together. You saw a video by a CIA guy who investigated the election. He said Commonwealths won that election. They won in massive numbers. Of course they did. We were there, right? I don't think anybody here in this room can say that on November 6th, they woke up, heard that Trump had won, and believed it, right? I bet there's nobody here. We have 172 people in the house. I bet there's not one person here who didn't have the thought when they heard on November 6th that Trump won. I bet not one of you thought it was real. Thought that like it was legit. Can I read on if the cabinet will? No, I don't feel like the 25th Amendment will be enacted, but I can ask my nifty pendulum. No, you never believed that he won because it wasn't believable, right? There was nothing about that was believable. He was wearing a garbage man costume, a trash collector's costume, and driving a trash truck about a week before the election. And talking about they're eating the cats and dogs and Hannibal Lecter. Off the rails then. Crazy. Will the 25th Amendment be enacted? I don't get that's what's going to do it. Dale says it angered me when the talking heads were spouting what we Dems did wrong. That drove me crazy. I would turn it right off, and then I would always write a comment or write to the mainstream media that just kept going, oh, wringing their hands. Oh, they must have done this wrong. Oh, they were too woke. Oh, they were too this. They were too... no, they cheated. And yeah, and the results came in 30 minutes after the polls closed. Yeah, we know. Get your mug, psychiconnection.com. Just be patient, because I'm the one shipping them. And I quit Amazon, so I've got to find the right boxes. Okay, let's see. It was glaringly obvious he was a terrible, terrible candidate. It was, yeah, right. He was talking about sharks and boat batteries. He'd rather get electrocuted than eaten by a shark. It's like, what the? Go back and watch that stuff. No, go back and watch the Kamala Harris campaign. And I love that she was talking about how people were like, they would meet each other. They were from all walks of life, and they were like neighbors. Everybody was, being friendly with each other. We were all in it. We love this country. Let's not forget, we love our country. What do you do with people that you love and things that you love? You protect them. Yeah, winning all 7 swing states. Let's pull a few cards on, and we'll go back to how it is that he's going to exit. When people say something like, oh, we have to do this, we have 3.5 more years to go. It's like, what are you talking about? Right? He's gonzo. I've never borne witness to anybody so crazy in my entire life. And this also is so confounding. Imagine this. Just imagine for a moment. Imagine this. Imagine that you are a person who, whenever you don't like what somebody says that reflects on you, that you fire that person, or that you issue death threats, or you tell them that they're full of it every single time. Every single time. And now he's talking about building a ballroom in the White House, which he's been talking about for some time. So if you wrote down, maybe I'll do this later, write down all the major, huge issues that are going on in America right now that people are livid about. If you think we are not going to have a silent, peaceful revolution, for resolution, think again. Think again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull some cards about Kamala. About her coming back into the limelight. What about the nuclear subs? Well, I don't know what the question would be. There were 2 nuclear subs that he got into some kind of a fight with somebody at the Kremlin. Please hit the thumbs up. Oh, so we're reading on Kamala. When that book comes out, actually, that book that Kamala is coming out with, 107 Days, about her campaign and what she learned, is going to come flying off the shelves and is going to be an instant New York Times bestseller. Let's see how many weeks it will be on the bestseller list. Like number 1. How many weeks? 1 week? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? For about an entire month, Kamala's book is going to be on the number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Yes, Elon rigged the election. We know Elon rigged the election. They said it! And the election in the year 2000 was also rigged. I was thinking about that earlier because I think that is in that Substack report. Kamala. Yeah, I'm going to pre-order the book too. For sure. Kamala. I'm reading on Kamala. This is my card for Kamala, and it's my card for the United States. This is a turn of events to put her in her rightful place. I want everyone to just make a commitment to yourselves that whenever you get freaked out about what Dumpy is doing, you just visualize Kamala in her rightful place because she won the election. I'm just going to keep holding it up because she won the election. When did I order these? I think it was last December. Princess of Swords. The message will be out there. Okay, couple this with the fact that Dumpy, from all the evidence that we can see, from all that we can surmise because of all we know that he said and all his behaviors and all his history, as the people in the United States become very clear that he was best buddies with Jeffrey Epstein, and he has a history of covering up, and now he's going down the road of Ghislaine Maxwell is in a much lower security prison in Texas right now. They already downgraded her situation to an easier situation. And we'll read on it too. If it gets to the point where he pardons her, all freaking hell is going to break loose. I read on this the other night that, actually I read that he would pardon her, and then boy, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, like women plural. I'm reading on Kamala. So that, in addition to Kamala's book coming out, in addition to the election was completely rigged, and there is proof and evidence of that. The Princess of Swords is people standing up for those women who were horrifically abused by Jeffrey Epstein and his best buddy. The women are rising. The women are rising. Let me say it again. The women are rising. Any questions? Anybody want to argue me on that? Anybody? Go ahead. The women are rising. The only real reason that Dumpy ran for president was because he didn't want to go to prison because he was heading in that direction. And I want to say one more thing about that. He doesn't have presidential immunity for crimes committed with Jeffrey Epstein because he wasn't the president. The divine feminine is rising up. That is definitely true. And I know that people maybe don't know what that means or understand. But this world is evolving. You watch Texas Paul? I can't watch Texas Paul. Anybody who waxes really heavy, really negative, I can't watch him. Now that is a song title. Thank you, Terry. I'm really working on getting back into my music more. I really need to. I really, really need to. Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 cards on the Democrats in Congress. Yeah, people are saying they had to stop watching Texas Paul. Yeah, he got too negative. You know, and for me, if a channel doesn't have any hopefulness at all, why watch it, right? I have a sign over there. It's hard to see it, but it says, "I am an optimist. It does not seem too much use being anything else." That's Winston Churchill. Right? I'm an optimist. It doesn't seem like much use to be anything else. Teresa's asking, do you think a whistleblower will come forward about the election? if you've been watching me, I've been saying for about 5 weeks now, whistleblower, 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 whistleblower. They're everywhere. And it's already happened. If you're just joining us. Okay, so I'm asking about the Democrats. And this is what I get. Right now, the Democrats don't have a ton of power to fight back. But the Ten of Cups indicates when all of us are joined together. And we're calling them and we're really making a kind of like a nuisance of ourselves. Right now, things are hanging in the balance, and we are really looking at, oh my gosh, this is about our economy, the Five of Pentacles, and how bad it is right now. We ain't seen nothing yet. But the Ten of Cups indicates that we have the potential. The people have the power. Say it over and over again. The people have the power. The people have the power. People have the power. It's power to the people. Power to the people. Both of those titles are songs already. We have to do this. We're in a war. This is a type of a war. All right, my viewers here are saying to hit the thumbs up because we need 200 thumbs up to do a group hug. Let's read on the way that Dumpy's going to go. Yeah, just keep me posted in case we get to 200 thumbs up. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Book a reading at psychicandetdion.com because you need to know what's going on from your spirit guides. Yeah, we must speak out without ceasing. Okay, so I'm pulling 3 cards. How is Dumpy going to be exiting? How is it going to happen? Notice I'm not asking if it's going to happen. I'm saying, how is it going to happen? Yeah, thanks. Do let me know when we get to 200 thumbs up. We will. How is it going to happen? When his connections to the nefarious ones are revealed. Yes, there's definitely... I feel like this report that just came out with the evidence that the election was rigged. Thank you, Marby. With the evidence that the election has been rigged and who he colluded with. I'm having a deja vu. I'm reading on how Dumpy exits. Okay, 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands. It's going to be through a lot of pressure, a lot of public pressure. A lot of public pressure. A lot of public pressure. I've been really impressed with Gavin Newsom. Listen to what Gavin Newsom is saying. He's talking real sense. Let's ask this. Is Gavin Newsom going to run? Does he want to be? We'll just say, is Gavin Newsom, does he want to be president? Yes, he has that desire. Thank you, Marby. And imagine this with me. Imagine that Dumpy is ousted, arrested by our military and ousted. He's committing crimes against humanity and he's a pedo. And now imagine us having Kamala Harris as president and getting that information and how it feels, because we manifest through our feeling nature. And as a collective, that's big energy. Hey, Gigi. She's saying hi to everyone. While I'm thinking about it, the psychic party for members is tomorrow night, and it starts an hour later to give me time to get ready, because I have to drive back from Salem to here, and it's been a big rush. We are in, actually today is the pagan festival of Lammas, which is the first harvest. So become a member and join us for that. It's a lot of fun. We always do readings and just kind of hang out and have a good time. And apropos It's interesting. I must be psychic. The latest presentations for members, you have access to this. It's under the videos. If you're a monthly subscriber, and please join, you have access to all my presentations. And the latest one, guess what, is entitled How to Be Powerful. And I heard Kamala last night talking about people have the power. There it is. So I recorded day 1 and day 2, and it's going to be 5 days. It's just like 15 minutes. All right, you see it? You feel it? You feel people in the street, dancing in the street? Kamala's in the White House? Things are being put back together? You gotta feel it. We cannot keep going with this. This has got to stop. So let's read on that, actually. Let's read on it stopping. Oh, is Maria in the house? Maria Rodriguez? I don't see her. Maria sent me some cards, so we'll use a couple of those. Let's do this. You want to join but don't see the way. I just did my best to put that information in my past few videos, so it'll be there. We've never lost faith for Kamala. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card about our democracy being restored. I'm just going to pull one card. Pause. You're being asked to pause. Allow yourself to step back, look at all the possible outcomes, make sure you're heading in the right direction. Yes, we are. These cards are called the Akashic Truth Oracle cards. Yes, it says pause, so you know that we're in the pause time. Membership is the $ next to the chat. Okay. I'll do my best to make sure that it's there. All right. What are the MAGAs in Congress doing? Remember they went on hiatus because they couldn't deal with the pressure of the, I almost said the Hegseth stuff. They couldn't deal with the pressure of the, why am I getting Hegseth? What's going on with Hegseth? Of the Epstein stuff? Maybe I need to read on Hegseth. Keg's breath. Let's read on Keg's breath because his name keeps popping into my head. And then I'll read on the MAGAs in Congress. What the hell are they doing? They left early. They left for their August break, the second to the last week in July, I think. And because they couldn't handle the pressure of the Epstein stuff. All right. Let's read on Hegseth. There must be something going on. Yeah, I heard Mikey Sherrill grilled him like a cheese sandwich. There must be something in the news about him right now, because it just popped in. All the Republicans should be voted out. They rigged the election so that they won't be. Do you think Ted Cruz really won the last election? Don't even get me started, because I won't stop. Hegseth, 4 of Cups, 10 of Swords. I get this sense about Pete Hegseth that he's on the run. I have the 4 of Cups, which means he should have gotten out while the getting was good. I feel like Hegseth should have stopped doing his criminality sooner rather than later. The 10 of Swords is bad news for him. Queen of Wands, he's being investigated. Hegseth is being investigated. Pig's breath. You call him pig's breath. Yeah. So, I would say that the energy that I get about Hegseth is like, it's like he's being chased. It feels like he's being chased. And remember on Wednesday, if you were here, On Wednesday, I got this really strong feeling that all these MAGAs are getting quite nervous. I feel like there are whispers. I don't know if it's their spirit guides or what, but I feel like all of them, all the MAGAs in Congress, all this criminal coup, all the members of this criminal coup are quite nervous. Mary's saying, I feel that Republicans will be removed from stealing the election too. I'm going to read on that because they feel quite nervous. And Carolyn Lyon Levitt was wearing black today. Now, I wear black a lot because, you know, I'm a psychic. I'm a witch. I'm a good witch. But I don't generally see Carolyn Lyon Levitt wearing black. And I can't remember what question she was answering, but she was, boy, can that woman lie, but she doesn't do it well. Okay, so Maria, are you here? I just mentioned the cards that you sent. I'll pull a card for another question. So let's read on, like I was talking about the other day. The other night I was talking about that they're nervous. They're really nervous. We're up to 180 thumbs up. We only need 20 more thumbs up. Mary's a witch too. Well, you know, you're right next door to Salem. We kind of can't help it. It kind of rubs off on us, right? You're even closer to Salem than I am. I'll be there tomorrow. Stop in and say hi. The MAGAs and Congress. Oh boy. Oh yeah. You heard it here. Carolyn Lyon Levitt was raised Catholic. Well, you know, the Catholicism has Opus Dei, the very dark side of Catholicism. There's a very light side too. Well, what I see for the MAGAs in Congress is all their nefarious connections are going to be revealed. And the Four of Cups indicates I got this for Pete Hegseth too. They should have stopped when they could, but they didn't. They just kept going. And the Seven of Cups is all the gaslighting that they've done is going to backfire, people. It's going to backfire. Let's ask this. Have the MAGAs in this criminal coup, I'm going to call them the criminal coup administration. Are the MAGAs in this criminal coup administration trying to have a full-on successful coup? Are they getting wind that they're being investigated? They're getting through the grapevine, they're getting the message that they're being investigated behind the scenes. And it's making them very uncomfortable. And the more uncomfortable they get, the more brazen they will get. Right? We see Dumpy doing this all the time. So now we're going to read on his health. Actually, I have my whiteboard here. That's why I'm looking over there. It's a lot, people, but we really do have to keep up. And just as a side note, as you know, that I threw my hat into the ring to get signatures to be on the ballot to run for city council. And since I only gave myself a week and a half rather than 3 months, I didn't get enough signatures. But what Kamala was saying last night about what she's going to do is really similar to the message that I've been getting for what I want to do. No, it's not to run for president. But because I jumped in late and I didn't get the number of signatures required, I was short by 25 signatures. And there was an administration error that I made. I actually would have gotten the 75 signatures, but this time around it just wasn't meant to be. But anyway, in lieu of that, what I've decided to do is engage in my community. And I went to the city hall today just to get the paperwork and the numbers and to talk to, a friend over there that's working in the clerk's office and about what happened and, and I said, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll attempt to get on the ballot the next time around. But I asked her for voter registration forms. So I got a stack of voter registration forms. And what I'm going to do, and I'm telling you this because I'm suggesting that you do the same thing, because we can all do this. To be out in the community and to be actively engaged in the community, just set up a table somewhere and say, voter registration here. We have to do these things. And Kamala was saying something similar, that she's going to go like on a tour, but she's not literally going to be asking people for votes. She's going to be talking to the American people and listening to the American people. I want to say to everybody here that you too can do that. Every person here, just about every person here, probably has the scenario where you live where you could get people to register to vote. And you could talk to them about what democracy is all about, what's going on in this country right now, because a lot of people don't know. And be actively engaged, because when we are, we feel better. I promise. I promise. When we're actively engaged, we feel better. We meet people too, and it's fun. I promise. Even if you're an introvert, just kick yourself. Now, what the heck was I reading on, Terry? Dumpy's Health. Oh, Darren, come on, lift it up a little bit. Don't diss the Pope. Why do you doubt that Pope Leo will do anything for women? Come on. You're more of an optimist than that. What happened? Okay, so we are going to pull 3 cards about Dumpy's health. Ready? It's bad. It's very bad. It's very... I feel like he always feels nauseous and he might be vomiting. Yeah, it's bad. Okay. Amy's going to ask her students if they registered and encourage them to raise their voices. Bring voter registration forms to class. Dumpy's health. He's actually... This is the thing about the Donald. Is that he doesn't... It's really interesting. He doesn't even think about how he physically feels. He's so out of touch with this, with his physical body. So out of touch. That all he thinks about is money. And so when I'm reading on his health, I get the Empress, which is the United States, being stronger than him. The King of Pentacles, all he thinks about is money, but his money is being, his corruption is being revealed. And I know that sounds like what a silly small statement that is, but I do think it's part of him being sunk. I think people are really noticing. I was going to read on the MAGAs in Congress and what the heck they're doing. I think I didn't read on that. I meant to. Okay. I'm going to read on the MAGAs that went early on recess because they were all like, oh, the Epstein file. Well, first MAGA Mike was like, oh yeah, well, we need to see the files. We need to see the files. And then Dumpy got a hold of him and he was like, no, I guess we need to go on recess now early. You know what? Enough. Darren, just so you know about the Vatican and the Catholic Church, it's challenging after how many 2,000 years to turn that ship around. It doesn't mean it won't happen someday. And I too am annoyed that the patriarchy has not allowed women to be priests. Very annoyed by that. I'm just saying. It's kind of hard to rely on one person to change 2,000 years of precedent quickly. Okay, so thank you, Terry. My brain is overwhelmed with news. Oh yeah, they don't know what to do about this Epstein. The MAGAs in Congress, if you can just imagine, and maybe it will make you laugh. The MAGAs in Congress are looking at this Epstein thing and they don't know what to say. They keep contradicting themselves. So it's highly emotional, which is the moon. This also gives me a sense that, okay, the full moon is on the 9th. That's next Saturday. This gives me a sense that during the full moon, even though they're in recess, we're going to hear something big about the Epstein situation. We only need 2 more thumbs up for a group hug. That's great. Just let me know. It's, I kind of feel like this whole Epstein thing is bringing up the same kind of emotions for these MAGAs in Congress as the January 6th investigations. The same kind of emotions, kind of panic, kind of quiet panic. And the Ace of Swords, I don't know, like, how they're getting really emotional about the truth. They can't handle the truth, the MAGAs in Congress. They can't handle the truth that their mighty leader, the emperor, took his clothes off. Basically, they can't handle that. Not only does he have no clothes, he took them off. 2. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are we gonna do, you guys? Hey Amanda, I didn't see you there till now. Kathy Beale is very busy. She's going to do a few presentations. Not next week, but the week after in Houston. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you that visual. I thought it was kind of a little bit of a twist on the emperor has no clothes. The emperor's taking off his clothes, and the MAGAs don't know what to do about it. So I'm actually going to delve into that just a little bit more about, like, what the heck is their plan? What is their plan? What are they going to say when they come back? The South Park twist. Yes, that was kind of like a South Park. Did you guys see that South Park thing? Oh my gosh. We'd be here for 2 hours if I read on everything there is to read on. And then I'd still have more things to read on. The MAGAs in Congress, what are they going to do when they come back? The 6 of Cups. They're having the same amount of freak out that they had about January 6th that they were complicit in and helped to plan. Page of Swords, whistleblower, King of Cups. Yeah. They're actually worried about the Russian connection being found out. Yeah, that South Park is gross, but it's extremely funny. I was doubled over in just laughter. Belly laughs. South Park has another show on the 6th. It will be great. Okay, I'll check it out. I have to check it out after. They don't have a TV. What else do I have on my list? We won't get to everything. The ballroom at the White House. What the? Let's just ask the pendulum. I mean, I just read on Dumpy earlier, and I saw that he doesn't eat. You know, I was just reading about his health, and it's kind of shocking because what I get is that he doesn't think about his body. It's the strangest thing. He only thinks about gold and money, and crypto. Just flat out, does he get to build the ballroom? I have a no. I have a no. He's not building the ballroom. The guys just said, Lincoln won't let him. I think, let's ask this, is he being haunted? Is he being haunted? Yes, he's being haunted. Isn't that interesting? You like watching the aliens on Midas Touch? Yeah, the aliens, they're pretty funny. They're pretty funny. I'm getting no to the ballroom. Well, let's read on that, because I'm wondering what stops the ballroom. And what I get is that there's too much chaos. There's too much chaos. It's almost like there's just too much going on. They can't even get... Yeah, it just feels like too much chaos. Let's read on the ballroom. Talk about out of touch. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I feel like that Lincoln's ghost haunts him. All right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You guys remember, if those of you, a lot of you have been with me for a long time, and I really appreciate that. When I went to D.C. to not this, obviously it's August, right? When did I go? I went this month last year. I went to D.C. and I did a ghost tour. Darren knows, because she's in Maryland. Damn, there's a lot of ghosts in D.C. He's being haunted by all of the dead presidents. Yeah, the ones, yeah. Several of them. All right, well, I'm just going to tell you what I'm reading on is he being haunted? Yeah, I have the death card. And I'm reading on the ballroom and what happens, and I'm picking up on that Lincoln's ghost is haunting him. I really do. And actually, there are ghost stories about Lincoln in the White House. I've watched shows about that, like documentaries. I'm not picking up the ballroom. I have the judgment card and the death card. And the lover card indicating who he's in bed with. Oh, do we hit 200 thumbs up? Yay! It's like 2 minutes left. You're surprised Dumpy isn't suing South Park? Well, Paramount is like on his side, so it's getting very complicated for him. All right, crazy. Well, I was just reading on the ballroom, and that's why I was picking up on Lincoln. I'm sure Ivana haunts him, and to tell you the truth, with this whole Epstein thing, Virginia, who ended her life, and also Virginia Guffrey took her own life. But I came across something that she had posted in 2019. You know who I mean, one of the Epstein victims. That she took her life on, I think it was April of this year. But she had posted somewhere in 2019, if I am found not alive, something to that effect. And they call it a suicide. It wasn't a suicide. So that's interesting. Yes, Darren sent me some books about how haunted Maryland is. Washington, D.C. and Maryland are very haunted. Edgar Allan Poe died in Baltimore, and he's buried there too. Yeah, I did see that. We have forts going back to the French and Indian War, War of 1812, and of course the Civil War. Yeah, and I have pictures of ghosts that I took on my ghost tour. I think I showed them to you guys. I loved going to D.C. That's when Biden was in office, right? Last August. So it was a great time. Okay, we'll do a group hug in a second. I think I was going to ask about a ghost thing. What was it? Oh, what I want to ask about is, no, I don't get that Carolyn Levitt was an Epstein girl, but I do, but Melania was. I feel like Jeffrey Epstein is haunting Dumpy. I I really get that strongly. Is Epstein haunting Dumpy? I really get that strongly. Let's ask this. Is Dumpy getting more than 2 hours of sleep a night? Oh my God. Can you imagine? He doesn't get more than 2 hours of sleep a night. All right, let's ask this. Is Dumpy sleeping at all at night? Yes, but not more than 2 hours a night. That's scary. That's brain not functioning. Well, let's ask this. Not to be disrespectful, but is Epstein's victim also haunting Dumpy? No. So I don't think that that's, yeah. But Epstein is. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Hang on. Can you hear the baby seagulls? I don't know if you can hear them. They sound like squeaky swings at the playground. He's on social media at 3 a.m., so he's not sleeping. Oh, we're doing a, can you hear the little baby seagulls? All right. They're so cute. Wow, that's funny you can hear them. Yeah, there's a lot of them. We're going to do a group hug. I'm reminding you all, I will do my best to get that join button up there, but members, we have a psychic party as we're celebrating the first harvest. Bring your zucchinis and your squash and whatever you're harvesting. And that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. I'm bumping it up from 7 because I was really too rushed at the end of my workday in Salem. We're going to do a group hug. And what we're going to do, you have a Native American ghost on your property? I think you're, I don't think it's dangerous or anything. I'm thinking about our group hug. Okay. Let's do a group hug and think about us all realizing as a collective how much more powerful we are than we thought we were. All right? Maria's gonna bring her cucumbers to the to the first harvest party. Your tomatoes, right? And it's called Lammas, Lammas. It's a Wiccan Sabbath. It's a time of the year that we honor the earth. All right, so we're gonna think about us as a collective energy having the inspiration and the awareness that we as a collective are way more powerful than we thought. Kamala back on the scene. All the people that are suffering and being subjected to massive amounts of cruelty, send them a lot of vibes and just let's lift the energy for anybody who's suffering. 1, 2, 3, group hug. All right. And if the baby seagulls, be more careful in the road and don't get run over. What else? I think that's everything. We went over tonight, but it's always a pleasure to be with you. Please watch Off the Ledge. That's daily. Tomorrow I will do Off the Ledge. I haven't had time to do pop-ups lately. Sunday, Church of Spirituality. Join us at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're not watching it, you're totally missing out. And on Thursdays, we do a guided meditation for Field America. That's under the lives. Make sure you do that meditation. All right. It's not too much to ask for you to meditate for our country. The meditation is only 15 minutes. Love you lots. See you soon. Book a session. Hit the thumbs up if you're watching it later and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the party. You're going to Laurie Cabot's party tomorrow night? Oh, that's right. I heard about that. All right, namaste. Good night. Be good to yourselves. See ya.